If you clicked on this video, chances are that you have recently moved to Canada. You have started your job search or you're about to get started. Maybe you're a few weeks in, maybe a few months in. And if you are like most newcomers, you are probably making one of these 5 critical mistakes that are keeping you away from that job. I see newcomers making these mistakes all the time. And today, I am going to break down what these are and how to fix them. So, let's go. Mistake number 1. Let's start with the resume because I believe everyone gets it wrong. Number 1. One size fits all. You are using the same resume to apply to every single job and mass applying. Back home, this might have worked, but in Canada, you need to treat your resume differently. Every job requires you to tweak your resume as per the job description. You need to align your experience as per what they are specifically asking for. Match the keywords, highlight your expertise and your achievements, customize it. It might take longer, but without that, you will not get results. Number 2, listing job duties instead of achievements. It's like explaining how I spent my time in my last job, which is irrelevant. You need to consider your resume like a sales document. It needs to help you to sell yourself, to get you that first interview. So, show some numbers, talk about your achievements, things like, I helped the organization make 30% more revenue, or reduce the cost by $15,000, or led a team of 12 people who finished the project ahead of schedule. That's where you get attention. Number 3, including irrelevant information on your resume. So stop putting your SIN number, your complete home address, or your marital status. These are irrelevant to your job. It is not just unnecessary, it actually shows that there is gap in your understanding about how it's done. Mistake number 2, ignoring LinkedIn. If you are not on LinkedIn in Canada, you are invisible. And I'm not talking about just having a profile. I'm talking about being active. Number 1, post content. Share industry trends, talk about your experience, show them what you know. Number 2, engage with people. Comment on other people's posts, add your perspective. If someone shares something which is in your field and you have something valuable to add, contribute. Instead of saying great post, tell them why it's a great post. Number 3, connect meaningfully. Connect with people in your industry and don't just connect with them and forget about them. It's not like having that visiting card at the back of your pocket. Use it. Send them a message, connect with them, start a conversation, build real connections. LinkedIn is where people will find you. It's where recruiters look for candidates like you. And it is where hiring managers go to check you out before they even reach out to you. So, it's in your best interest to leverage this platform. Use it. Not using LinkedIn is like going to a networking event and standing in a corner with your eyes closed. Mistake number 3, not preparing for behavioral interviews. In Canada, most of the interviews are behavioral. They'll ask you questions like, tell us about a time, or give us an example of. These are story-based questions. They want to hear real situations where you have demonstrated a skill, solved a problem, dealt with a conflict, learned from a failure, etc. And this is where most people mess up. They talk about how they did that back home, but miss to connect that to Canada. I recently made a video about it, and I cannot stress this enough. Don't just tell me how wonderfully you have achieved or done something back home. Tell me, how are you going to replicate that same success in Canada? Tell me you understand the context. Tell me you have thought about how your skills translate here. This is a game changer. Now, work on your stories. You can use the format of STAR, which is situation, task, action, results, and always bring it back to what value do you have for this Canadian employer. Mistake number 4, not networking. Let me ask you something. How did you get most of your jobs back home? If you are being honest, it's definitely coming via someone you knew. A referral, a connection, a recommendation. I worked in India for 10 years and I never applied to a single job online. All of my 4 to 5 jobs came through referrals because I knew people. They either worked with me and they could tell what I was able to achieve or do. But in Canada, you don't have those connections. Nobody knows you. You never studied here. You were not born here. You don't have those inbuilt connections. So you have to build them. But the good news is, not the entire Canadian population needs to know about you. It's only people in your field. And if you want to get hyper focused, you have to find people in your specific area of expertise. So if you are in marketing, are you a social media marketer or an email marketer? Are you focused on retail media, SEO, SEM, whatever it is, go find those people and connect with them. But don't just connect with them and keep them hanging. Reach out to have a real conversation. Ask them about their experience. Share your experience, expertise, and skills and capabilities with them. One connection at a time, you are actually spreading awareness in your field about your experience, your expertise, your talent, and your availability in Canada and Canadian job market. And that's how opportunities come. Mistake number 5, not understanding Canadian culture. This is the big one, and it's mostly invisible until it costs you the job. You must have heard the phrase, you don't have Canadian experience. Everybody hates it. And most people literally believe that you need to have worked for a Canadian company. But if that was the case, they wouldn't have called you for an interview. They could see on your resume that you have no Canadian experience. You have never worked for a Canadian company. But when they say you don't have Canadian experience, what they really mean is, after talking to you, they believe that you do not understand what and how it works here. They believe you are a risk. Maybe it is the way you engaged in small talk, or maybe it's the way you talked about your experience without translating it to how it would work in Canada. Maybe Your communication style didn't match to what they are used to, or maybe you didn't act on the cultural cues. Canadian experience isn't about where you worked. It's about understanding what works in the Canadian culture. It's about your communication style. It's about how you take or give feedback. It's about collaboration and how you work in teams. So what do? You actually demonstrate cultural awareness. How do you do that? You have to take a step back and start observing first. Show your curiosity and interest and try to learn first. Watch Canadian workplace culture content on YouTube, or go out and learn by observing people in real life. Maybe go grab a cup of coffee at Tim Hortons and stand there for a bit and observe how the customer service representative is interacting with the customers. How do they engage in small talk? What happens when there is a conflict? How do they tackle that? How do they give or take feedback? On the other hand, in interviews, explain how your success back home translates into the Canadian context. When you show flexibility and adaptability, that's when Canadian experience stops becoming a barrier. So, fix these 5 mistakes and you will see real change in your job search. If you found this helpful, share it with somebody who might need it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.